Have a little talk with Jesus.
Let us
Tell him all about our troubles.
He will
Hear our faintest cry. Answer by and by.
Glad to meet you once again. In this episode, I'm going to speak on a very, very important but very difficult role of any man who wants to follow God. Yes, I said it is difficult, but it is very, very important. You see, after accepting that God is working around you, and you also accept that He has invited you to join Him, with the invitation He invited you to join Him, you also yield to His own initiation of having a love relationship with you. And even in that relationship, you find some crisis of belief in you. You still demonstrated faith and action in order to follow God. That is very, very important, but that is not enough. There is a very important thing that you also need to do that will enable you to walk well with God, that will enable you to experience God in your life. And this is making a major adjustment in your life. Making an adjustment in order to fit with God's standard. When I said adjust here, I mean to bring to a more satisfactory, or maybe let's say to bring to a conformable or more effective state. When you are asked to make adjustment, it's simply telling you that you should redress yourself to a more comfortable or conformable or even effective style, so that you can be better off. God has a standard, and you don't expect God to come to your own standard. It is expected that you conform to God's standard. Yes, God has His own standard of living, and He expects that whoever will want to walk with Him must also conform to His own standard. So God has His own standard, and He wants us to conform to His own standard of life. That will enable us to walk with Him. We've been using Moses as an example. When God spoke to Moses in Exodus in chapter 4, when you read from verse 19 to verse 20, God spoke to Moses to go back to Egypt. Going back to Egypt was a very difficult thing in the life of Moses. He raised so many questions, which we refer as crisis of belief. But at the end of the day, Moses had to make a major adjustment to leave and move to Egypt. That Bible, that text told us in that Exodus chapter 4, verse 19 to verse 20, told us that Moses picked his wife and his children, or his sons, and left for Egypt. That was a major adjustment. If you remember also the story of Abraham in the book of Genesis chapter 12, Abraham had to make a major adjustment by leaving his country, going to a land that he don't know, an unknown land. He had to leave his parents, he had to leave his country and move to an unknown land. Do you remember also the story of Jonah? In his own prejudice, he left his own prejudice and went to Nineveh in order to minister to the people of Nineveh. That was a major adjustment. Not only that, you remember even Jesus with his disciple, talking of Peter, Andrew, and his brothers. They were catching fish in the river. They were into their own business, but they have to make a major adjustment to leave what they are doing in order to follow Jesus Christ. Talk of many of them in the Bible. You want to talk of Elisha and so many other people in the Bible that God used them, and they have to make major adjustment in order to walk with God. Friends, To make this major adjustment, we said it is very painful, but I'm telling you it is very important, because without it, you cannot follow God. You cannot experience God. Friends, you know that God is working around you. You know also that God has resolved to be with you, because you have also made up your mind to join him in what he is doing. And even with that, many crises that came your way, you exercise faith and action. Then what is stopping you from making an adjustment? Friends, are you willing to make an adjustment? Just consider your lifestyle that needs adjustment so that you can walk with God. Thinking of your own dress code, your dressing style. Do you think your dressing style conform with God's standard? What about the music that you hear? Not to talk even of the music. Look at the friends that you are associating with them. Are they friends that can be conformed to God's standard? Are they friends that will bring glory and honor to God in your own life? Why not make an adjustment? That woman that you are staying with, or that husband that you are staying with, is she your wife or is he your husband? You spent thousands and thousands of naira, thousands of dollars, taking care of a strange woman, while your wife at home, you don't care about her. You only spend money, great money, taking care of other women outside, while your wife at home is suffering. You left your husband just because of simple change. You went to another man, someone's husband, and spent all the night with him. This, you keep it as a lifestyle. You keep doing this as a lifestyle. Why not make adjustment? Make an adjustment so that you can walk with God. Are you a leader? In your leadership, why do you show favoritism? Why do you show sectionalism? Why do you show tribalism in your leadership? And you say you want to follow God. Make an adjustment in that area. There are so many aspects of our life that need adjustment. Let me point this man in the Bible that encountered Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ told him to make an adjustment, but it became an offense to him. In the book of Mark, in chapter 10, from verse 17 to verse 30, it tells us about a man, a young rich man. This young rich man, he said he has observed all those laws since he was a youth. Of course, this rich young man have tried. To observe those laws is not easy. But one thing that Jesus Christ pointed out to him, that he must make an adjustment in it so that he can follow him. Just to go and sell his possession and give it to the poor. There, this man said, that will never be possible. He went back sorrowful. I don't want you to leave this video sorrowful. Just because God is speaking to you to make an adjustment of your life and conform with his own lifestyle. Friends, I invite you, please take this decision to make an adjustment. Consider the way of life you live. Make an adjustment so that you can walk with God. And that will be better of you. That will enable you to walk successfully with God. That will enable you also to experience God in your own life. I pray that God Almighty will really touch your heart until you take this decision. It is your own responsibility to take this decision. Make an adjustment that you can walk with God. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. God bless you.